Sensei Yanishimiru Tanoson, Matsuo Bashō, such stillness, the cries of cicadas. Sink into the rocks. How loud is your world right now? Constant notifications, background music, endless scrolling. We live in a time where silence is rare, and stillness feels almost unnatural. But over 300 years ago, a Japanese poet captured silence in a way that made it speak louder than noise. His name was Matsuo Bashō, and he wrote, "Such stillness, the cries of cicadas. Sink into the rocks." Let's break this down, because this isn't just a nature poem. It's a meditation. It's a philosophy. And maybe it's exactly what we need today. At first glance, it's a simple scene. A quiet place. The sound of cicadas. But Bashō doesn't just say the cicadas are loud. He says the stillness is so deep, the sound sinks into the rocks. That's poetic precision. More silent the environment, the more present the smallest sounds become. And when you slow down enough to hear them not just with your ears, but with your whole being, something shifts. This haiku isn't about the cicadas. It's about the contrast between silence and noise, stillness and movement, inner peace and outer chaos. Bashō wasn't writing this from a desk in a quiet study. He was on the road, a lifelong traveler, wandering the mountains, the countryside, the coasts of Japan. When he wrote this poem, he was deep in the mountains near a Zen temple. And what struck him wasn't how loud or quiet it was how the sound of life merged with the silence around it. Imagine this, a vast, empty valley. Stone cliffs, no traffic, no voices, just the long, slow sound of cicadas, echoing until it feels like even the rocks are listening. That's the level of stillness Bashō tapped into. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of awareness. Today, we rarely experience that kind of silence. Even when we're alone, we're not truly alone. We carry a constant stream of distraction in our pockets. But here's the thing. Silence isn't just restful. It's revealing. In silence, we hear not just the world around us, but the world within us. Our thoughts, our feelings, the stuff we've been avoiding. That's why many people fear silence. Because in silence, you can't run from yourself. But Bashō invites us to do the opposite. To sit with the silence. To hear the cicadas in our own lives. To let their voices seep into the rocks of our mind and remind us, you are here. You are alive. And even in stillness, there is life. You don't have to live in the mountains of Japan to feel this. Here's how you can start. Find a quiet moment each day. It could be morning or just before bed. Turn off your phone. All of it. No music. No scrolling. Just listen. Not for anything. Just listen. Maybe you'll hear wind. Maybe a bird. Maybe your own breath. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. But if you stay with it, you might discover what Bashō discovered. That the world isn't quiet. It's always speaking. We just have to slow down enough to hear it. Let's return to the haiku. Such stillness, the cries of cicadas. Sink into the rocks. Stillness isn't emptiness. It's depth. And in that depth, we don't lose the world. We find it. We find ourselves. So the next time your world feels too loud, maybe the answer isn't adding more. Maybe it's listening for the sound of stillness and letting it sink in. If that's something you want more of in your life, you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel for more reflections, like this one, rooted in Japanese poetry, stillness and meaning. See you next time.